Hello everyone. So I'm making a small update to my modeler impact pack as well. And I added some simple animation to test all the effects on. And while they look okay, you can tell that they weren't made for this animation. So I thought might be a good way to show you how to set it up so that it matches your animation. So let's pick one that has potential. Let's see a little bit further. I mean, this one looks way too small and not powerful enough. So let's make a version of that works a little bit better. Spar ImpactFX 13, one of the examples that I made. So in content browser, that's this one. But for now, I just apply that to the blueprint that I made. And create a new version of that. So right mouse click, duplicate. And in this case, it's going to be FX 17 because I haven't had that one yet. And sadly, I often might need two screens, so I'm not sure how well that's going to work, but okay, let's try and tweak this. Remove the floor real quick. And the first thing I want to do is make those flashes much bigger because they're way too small. So let's try and double that first. You can just do multiplications in these values. So that's quite easy. And much bigger already. Let's see if that actually looks a bit better. And let's the last one, the normal, so we can compare. It's somewhat better, but I kind of want them to move backwards a bit more as well. And I think they can be quite some bit bigger still. So let's double that again. 30, 140, and while this one doesn't really matter, let's do that one as well. 50, 120, and 120. There. Let's see what that looks like. I do like the better size, though they don't look powerful enough yet. I mean, I can add glow, but maybe a bit more reddish color will already do the trick. So let's go to color over live and pick something that's a little bit redder, or red. It looks better. And the scale, we might want to lower the green for a bit more reddish effect. Okay, let's see what that looks like. And I think they can travel a bit further as well. So let's try the initial velocity. Where are you? Sphere. And sphere in this case because it's using the velocity scale of this one. So let's try something like 50 and 70. There. Let's see what that looks like. That does look better, though perhaps it would be better if those sparks move backwards to show where the velocity is coming from. Let's go to sphere, and instead of positive x, let's try negative x. There. Does look better. Now sometimes they are hiding behind that mesh because the second sweep is actually sort of behind Vleer. If that doll had arms, he would cut them off. So if you want them to be a bit more towards the front, we can play around with that a little bit with camera offset. There is one here, so let's try like 50. The negative value pushes the particle a little bit more to the back, and the positive value pushes the particle a little bit more towards the camera. So if you have 50, then you can see they're a bit more close, but they're still not close enough for that second one. And I might choose to not properly do that because if I like push them really far to the front, they'll either clip through the camera or are way in front of the player, as you can see now. It can give cool effects, but in this case, I don't think it's really worth it to go that far. So I'm gonna try 100, and if I'm not satisfied, back to 50. Let's see. That could work. Now I kind of want to do a little bit more about the timing. They feel like they're lasting just a little bit too long. Let's try the lifetime, which is already quite short and don't need that much shorter. So let's try about there. That might feel a little bit more powerful. And it does. You can definitely tell already that the original one that I made didn't look this powerful because it was too small. The colors were so that's why you tweak things that you get from the marketplace to get them exactly the way you want. Okay, now that we have that first thing done, let's try the other flash, which is somewhat smaller. It looks okayish, but it would be nice if we could actually make it a little bit longer. So let's try 50 on that and maybe 90 there. And the velocity would be a bit higher as well. So 25 and 45 maybe. This is just guesswork though. So let's see what that looks like now. The lifetime is still wrong compared to the other one, so let's try that one. Now I can alter those myself. I can just delete this lifetime and then hold Control, drag, and there. Now as you can see, there's a very small effect in the center, which is way too small. So let's make that much bigger. And I'm not sure what color I'm gonna go for there, but let's see. You barely even see it. So let's go for blue color for now, so we can actually see what's going on. As you can see, it's only just there, so 115, and you can barely see it. Let's make it a bit more bright. 3 over 3. And for some reason, it's all of a sudden it's yellow. The U shift. That looks nice. I might want it to be much brighter though, since the actual impact, you can't still really see it. I'm gonna add a camera offset to that as well. It's already 50, so I'm wondering why I'm not seeing it really. Let's see what's inside the material. It's translucent, so it should just work. So let's make it much brighter. Like 10, 10, 50. You can see it's really not that visible. Might want to go for another color. I mean, this is sometimes trial and error until you get something that looks nice. I'm gonna try to play around with the U shift so we get a color that might be cool. More blue, green, yellow. Now we're somewhere around the red, I think. Tweak that value a little bit. And let's make it nice and bright. This should look way more flashy already. And let's make it a little bit bigger still. 150 perhaps there. You can barely tell it's there, so let's try. Console command is not working for some reason. One of those days. Oh, that might be because. There we go. Slow-mo 0.5. And let's see if we can actually see it. Why are you not showing? It's barely visible because everything is the same color. Let's do it like this then. We're gonna disable the flashes. Now we can see this. Now we can actually see how big it is more properly. And because we already know kind of what the last one looks like now, I'm gonna replace it so we can see that effect 3 times. And in my humble opinion, it can actually be a little bit bigger still. There we go again. 220. It looks better. The lifetime might actually be a bit too short in this case, so let's try 5. Should be just visible, you know, it doesn't need to be super lasting, but that does look better. Okay, let's enable those two again. And I want to reduce the amount of sparks of these, so let's check how many that we're actually spawning. 8 and 5, big one. Let's try to 6 and 3. And the other one needs much less as well, so maybe 4 and 3 is more than enough. And I might want to speed these up a little bit more, so maybe 70 and 90. That way they move much further away. And I kind of want to make these a little bit faster still. So 30 and 50. Let's see. That definitely does look more powerful. Doesn't really match the sword's sweet color, of course. I could make them blue, but that's not the point of this video. It's just to have that particle effect. Well, maybe I'll do it in a second. I'm debating that. So the only thing that's bothering me now, that is that cross slice thing, and it doesn't really match sword sweep effect. So I might actually remove that and try to replace that with something else. First, let's see what this is. That's the very small spark, and I want some contrast in that color. So I might actually keep it yellow, but the size needs to be much bigger. As you can see, it's actually really small. So let's try to make it 4 times as big. I might want to go for maybe for a bluer color. I'm not sure yet. Let's see. Okay, that looks much better. I don't like those cross effects anymore though, so I might want to replace that for something else. Add some nice sparks. We do have a lot of sparks in this package, so why not use them? I'm gonna remove that hitline effect, and now we have to go through quite a few sparks. Let me save real quick. I got a lot of particle system collections were basically filled with all kinds of particle effects. But there are a lot of sparks, so let's see. Let's just see if we can find one that's really cool. There are quite a few, so that might work. There are so many. Not all of them fit, of course. And yeah, this is the boring part of such a video and finding things, you sometimes have to look through a lot of things. Effects, or when you're concept arting, you might Google a lot of images to find what you need. And if you're modeling trees, then who knows? Okay, this one actually looks quite nice. It's nice and strong. Might fit that sweep effect. There's also one with blue. I think I'm gonna go for this one. So I'm gonna press the magnifying glass, the particle effect I'm working on. Then in the selection, I'm gonna right mouse click emitter, export emitter. And now it's actually available here. Now, just like this effect, I only wanted to go to one side. And I remember that in the sphere I had to disable -X. So let's try that in here as well. I assume that there's actually a sphere velocity cone. Oh my god. Okay. I haven't used those in a long time. But we should be able to set it to 180. It should go to less direction, but me and velocity cones. Okay, 0 and 1 is actually okay. So there you go. Now it's upwards, but I want it to go to the left side. So that should be over to 5. And over to 5. Let's see. There. Better. And if you do 0, then there might be some variation between them. Also do 5, then it spreads out the whole half. Let's try 3 in some cases there. You might want to change the color over live. The moment it's just orange. If you want to keep a color for later, you can actually just drag and hold it here and put it into your color picker. Now we're going to set it to a constant curve so we can change the color over live. I kind of want to make it start with yellow, but for easy's sake, I'm going to place orange on both first. There, and I'm going to change this to a more yellow one. And just to make it sure that you can actually see it, I might change that value, and this one officially needs to be 1. Or maybe actually 0.8. That way it's orange for a little bit before it dissipates. Okay, let's see how just the sparks look when he's slashing. They are too big. You can tell that for sure. So that's something we need to take care of. They need to last longer, less long, and be smaller. So let's go to the initial size. And actually, we might want to bring them down 4 times. So 2 and 2.5 there. They're still quite big, so. Well, they aren't here anymore. Let me save again. Maybe didn't pick them up properly. Let me reapply. 17, that should work. Why are they still big? That's something really odd. I mean, let's try reverting them to another value. Actually, to the previous value. There, and let's try that again. To the 5. My math is bad. Okay, that's worrying. For some reason, it doesn't want to properly update them. Oh wait, it actually might be updating, but the LODs are active. You can see here there are multiple LODs. and the size change, so I need to actually duplicate from higher. And I need to do that for this one as well, duplicate from higher. And I forgot to do that one again, duplicate from higher. And that's the downside of LODs and Cascade. It doesn't tell you that something changed in other LODs besides deleting them. So, okay, as you can see that they're a little bit too small now, and they move too far. So let's do something about them moving too far. Plastic cone, I think they are moving about 2 times as far, so let's just divide that by 2. That looks better already. I might need to change the size. I will need to change the size. So there. The distance looks fine. I just want them to be a little bit bigger. So back to the initial size. Let's say 5 might be too much. Or 5. I have no idea what I'm doing. 3, 5. And I'm probably going to be tweaking this a little bit off screen. So this looks better already. Now, well, it looks cool that they are moving away. It might feel a little bit more natural if they are actually slowly falling down. So there is some drag going on, as you can see here. A bit much, but that's fine. Let's get a constant acceleration. And let's add some gravity to it. The natural gravity in Unreal is minus 980, if I'm correct. So as you can see, they are now falling down a little bit. We could perhaps try to add some collision. Damping factor. Collision. Freeze. Max collisions. 2 and 3. And this should kind of work out of the box. The delay might. And now, if I'm correct, you can see them bouncing. And the reason I'm actually adding that delay, I'll be able to show you that like this. And if I add like a delay of out of 4, some of them actually go through the floor before they bounce because there's a delay. Sometimes 0 works, sometimes a higher value works. There, that looks fine. Now you can change the bounciness with the damping stuff. So if I do like 10 on here, they go way too fast. And that should be fine actually. Might want to lower higher that value. Max is 5 out of 3 again. Okay. Okay, what else could we add if we really want to? Could add a circle to it, but I already did it a few times in here. Their timing is wrong with this animation though, but I think that's about how you go and make this work with your animation speed. And last and not least, if you're still interested, let's make that color match the sword sweep colors a little bit. So there's dynamic. I always try to add in my particle packs. Not all of them, but the recent ones certainly. And so I don't have to play around with the colors and scale colors anymore. I can just tweak the U shift. you get something like this. And since I'll know that O.5 325 is this color, you just copy it and plug it in here as well. The center ring might actually look better if it's not the exact same blue. There, that might be just a bit better. I actually do like the yellow spark there, so I might keep it. Maybe make it a bit more white, actually. We can use that with the dynamic as well. In this case, we don't want to play around with the U-shift, but the desaturate 0 should be the value, but it's not. Probably because I'm using colors and scale colors over live. Yeah, let's just tweak it here then. That's fine. Because we need it to be much wider. And not that wide. And then be about right. Oh wait, it's a nice white contrast color. The red ring spark. There, that might be better. Round it down. And then there's these sparks, of course. And let's get to the color. Only one value in here, so it's gonna be too hard. And let's make that a little bit more blue in the end. There, it might actually fit that shape a bit better there. Yeah, that brings it better together, much better. Now we can add refraction and other effects to it. We could add more effects to the sword. You could add some smoke to it that's moving to the right, in case you have some. Build upon it until you get something that you like. So yeah, that's that. What else do I want to say? So I overhauled my 4 elements specs, the 4 more elements and 4 more elements specs actually, until I had something that was way more optimal. And I actually did the same with the impact spec. I saved about another 1,000 instructions or so in the shaders, and I made the overdraw a little bit less. No, the texture factors are the same. So there's some additional optimizations there as well. So there you have it. A new showcase level that I'm gonna tidy up a little bit. And additionally showing you how to tweak an effect so you get something that you like. Alright, that's it. Take care people. Luos out.